Hello everybody and welcome back to Thom Talks Stuff. I'm Gleeman Thom back here with another Nostalgia Critic reaction. Now I think you guys know by now how much I love Channel Awesome, how much I love Doug Walker's work, and especially how big of a fan I am of Nostalgia Critic. And today's episode is actually really exciting for me because there was a couple movies growing up that I watched like over and over and over again. Waterworld was one. We already reacted to that. I think that was my first Nostalgia Critic reaction on this channel. But there was also Free Willy, which is what we're reacting to today, as well as Fievel Goes West, which he also has a video for, and we'll be watching that next. And, you know, like Dragonheart, but he doesn't have a Dragonheart video. How great it would be, when Doug makes Dragonheart, or if he makes Dragonheart. Everybody go over and tell Doug to make Dragonheart Nostalgia Critic. Tell me that wouldn't be fun. Oh man, Dennis Quaid and Sean Connery as the dragon. Oh, I really want to see that. But we've gotten off topic. So yeah, I watched Free Willy a lot. You know how people nowadays put on YouTube or whatever this is, anything they want to watch in the background, and then they go on about their daily lives. I've been doing that since elementary school with VHS tapes. So yeah, Free Willy was one of those. Free Willy was one of those that I could not stop watching, at least the first three, but the first was, to me, the very best. I mean, still now, when you used to get the Free Willy 2 VHS tape, it came with the necklace that the main character had, and I used to have that necklace. And I think I might kill a man for that necklace now. So yeah, if you have that necklace, why don't you comment your address to me? I don't know, maybe I'll stop by and pay you a visit. Yeah, okay, I think I've been rambling a little bit too long here. We all know what we're reacting to now, especially if you clicked into the title. So without further ado, let's watch it. And play.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember it so you don't have to.
I would love to remember Free Willy, Doug.
This is a story about a boy and his Willy. Let me try it again. This is a story about a boy and his relationship with his little Willy. This is a story about a boy who likes to hold on to his big fish. Okay, this isn't what you think. It has Michael Jackson in it. Okay.
I'll gladly
remember this
Free
little
Willy.
classic, don't you? Two misunderstood souls share a special bond that neither one can explain, but neither one would give up for the world. Never heard that before, except for a boy and his raccoon, a boy and his dog.
This was one of the first movies of that plot I've actually saw.
So the story was really nothing new at the time, yet it still turned out to be a big hit. Why? Well, let's look at this whale of a fail to find out. So it starts off with the action of whales jumping. Actually, I should say it tediously stretches
It's supposed to be majestic,
for 2.5
Doug.
minutes. But then we come across our enemy. Man. They capture one of the whales in their nets and take him away as our opening credit is shown. Wow.
Did you hear that cry?
First-year Photoshop student put that
Still gets me.
So we come across our boy-girl thing as we see him and his friends make a living by conning people out of money and stealing their daily food.
Well, you gotta admit, they're very creative about getting what they need to get. They're surviving.
So the boy is named Jesse, and he lives in that special time in movies where runaways are cool, can survive on their own, and somehow have relatively clean hair despite the fact that they have nowhere to stay.
Oh no, it's the cops!
Running away from the cops, they hide in the back room of an aquarium, where they spray paint the walls because that's what tough, blonde, curly-haired white boys do.
No. And they're... Keiko sounds so sad.
What is that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I saw this in a book somewhere. I think it's called Marketable. So almost instantly a connection is made between the boy and the whale.
Let me know in the comments.
But Jesse is caught by the cops and brought down to the station.
Aw, did you miss me, Dwight?
Don't play. Don't come in here being a bonehead. We were lucky this time. I kept you a little behind out of court.
Oh hey, a supported black person looking out for a lost white person. God, I haven't seen that in a movie since... every movie ever made, I think.
Yes, my mom.
You still want me to hear from your mom?
Just want to know if she's okay.
Nobody's heard from your mom in 6 years, Jesse.
Your father, on the other hand, wrote you another letter from prison. He says... Tell you when you're older. So the kid is given a foster home with a perfectly nice
And they're
couple.
very nice,
Of course,
good people.
he hates-
I know, why would
In
you
fact,
hate?
That's how I know Dwight. I did a story on Cooperton.
Dwight's a jerk.
Dwight's not a jerk.
What exactly are you into, Jesse?
I'm not into talking while I'm eating.
Well, you want to know what
Rudeness.
I'm into? Child abuse. Lots of it. You want to see a sample of that, you little shit?
Here's your room, Jesse.
Look how wonderful that room is, too. Look at that place.
It's great to have you here, Jesse.
What does he have to complain
Well,
about?
this little boy is about as
I'm
cliche
probably being
as a
too
movie
loud. I'm sorry.
runaway.
With the headphones,
The
sometimes
only
it's
thing
hard to
missing
tell.
is him playing a harmonica right on cue. So it turns out, as part of his probation, he has to go clean the graffiti that he left on the whale's tank.
Reasonable.
Here, he befriends a guy named Mr. Johnson, who can't seem to train Willy no matter
Wisest
how
man
hard
in the
him and his
world.
staff try.
Willie gets into moods. You gotta give him his space.
At least it
You
felt
know what
like
I mean?
that when I was a little kid.
Don't bother him. He won't bother you. You understand?
Sure.
I hope you make no connection to that animal whatsoever. I don't want to see any of that kindred spirit stuff.
He also sees one of the other trainers, played by Lori Petty.
You're that graffiti kid, aren't you? I guess.
Wasn't she Pauly Shore's love
Really
interest
messed up
in
our observation
In the
area.
Army Now?
Yeah, well,
And
you
Tank
messed up
Girl,
Tank
right?
Girl. We also see the park's owner, who's played by the villain from the next Karate Kid. And wouldn't you know it, he's playing the villain here too. I think it's because his eyebrows are permanently cemented to douche mode.
Ooh.
It will cost at least $100,000 to expand that psychotic malcontent's playpen. Huh? Oh God, I hate that whale.
Yet I love Gilmore Girls. Weird, huh? So,
Where did
as
that
you would
come
guess,
from? Was
the
he
boy
in
playing
Gilmore
his
Girls or
harmonica and
something?
Willy start to make a connection. They're both unsatisfied animals who have everything they need and yet constantly want to escape.
Well,
What's not to connect
no.
with?
Willie doesn't
He
have
sneaks
everything he
into the
needs.
park to play his harmonica at night because...
Jesse has nothing to complain
Didn't you
about.
do that when you were a kid?
Yep, falling! Oh, there we go!
So after his thorough search, it turns out that Jesse almost drowned. But of course, Willy, the whale who couldn't love, saves the boy's life. I assume it's because he likes his food dry, but maybe he loves him as well.
You saved my life.
But still, why did he save the boy's life?
Yeah.
Ever look into Willie's eyes? Those eyes discovered the stars
So cool.
long before man was even a whisper on Mother Earth. Look into a man's soul if they want. He won't look at Ray or me. Maybe he sees you.
See? Wisdom.
Or maybe that's bullshit. I don't know.
Don't
You
ruin
could
it.
use him for the rest of the summer if that's all right with you.
Yeah.
Make a job of it.
Yeah.
Pay him a little something too.
It's the least I could offer after he broke into my theme park, vandalized my walls, and disturbed my whale. So Jesse is now working there as a professional boy, as he notices Willy's disturbance is deeper than he thought.
Sounds so heartbreaking.
God, it sounds like Curly having a hernia.
Oh, God.
So it turns out the owners of the park aren't treating him very well. But that's because they don't have the misunderstood heart of gold that Jesse has.
Yeah.
You should feel like Burberry. Still a beautiful animal, though.
Yeah, real streetwise kid, like I said. Hey, I ain't playing, man. This is the real deal. Hey, you don't like it? Shove it out your pie hole. You're such a beautiful animal. So the kid starts training the whale without even knowing it, as Mr. Johnson and the other trainer think that maybe he should be the one to train him for a show. So she trains the kid to train the whale, as their bond gets even closer and closer. But something still seems to be missing from Willy's life. God, it sounds like Snark from Thundercats getting neutered. But it turns out something is missing from Jesse's life too, as he discusses it with his foster father.
That's a picture of me and my mother. She died about 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, my mom's coming to get me one of these days. You don't believe me, do you? I don't care what those people said. Those people don't know anything.
So their little argument gets his foster parents in another little argument, which finally reminds Jesse to open up his welcome home
Don't
gift.
break. Don't. I already know what's happening. Don't do it, you stupid
After
brat.
seeing
No.
the trouble he's
Don't.
caused, he realizes that maybe he can be.
Yeah.
Maybe he can understand.
Yeah.
Maybe he can be a little douche and throw a baseball through a window.
Yes.
Ugh, should have gotten a puppy.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Aren't you guys?
Imagine how much that's gonna cost to fix.
It scared me.
I mean...
Yeah, I can totally relate. A spider! So the bad guy drops by to see the trainer's progress.
Thank him. Thank him. Good boy.
Jesus, I swear this guy is a robot.
Alright.
Disengage impress mode, engage smug indifference.
So you can do all that again?
Yeah.
What you and Ray want cost a lot of money, I have to be sure.
Dogs pee on brick walls?
Let me check my douchebag files for that.
The Willy Show. It'll make money. And that, my friend, is what we are all about.
Yes, in case you didn't get the subtlety that he was the villain before, he just flat out says all we care about is the money. Why don't you just film the ending of Titanic with a sad face and a broken heart while you're at it? So everything
There
is
was
set for
still
the Willy
room
Show.
on that door.
Willy gets spooked because people downstairs are gasp, tapping on the glass.
Yeah, they could have.
So let me get this straight. These killer whales that eat seals, dolphins, and even other whales can't take simple tapping
Well, imagine
on
the
glass.
vibrations
Yeah, I
going
guess
through
those
with
seals
that
need to
many
scare 'em
people
away, or
banging
miniature
on it. I
windshields
mean,
in the
I'm not
street.
an expert.
That'll keep them away for good.
Please, Willy, please. Don't do it.
God, it sounds like Jar Jar Binks in a blender.
The whale is
Willy gets so
shy.
mad at the constant clapping that he actually rams the glass,
Woo!
which
Yeah.
actually results in one of my favorite scenes from one of the henchmen. No one can eat popcorn
That
so
music.
devilishly. Seriously, you can put that in like any heartwarming scene and it would just suck the
What you
love
got,
right
Dave?
out of it.
I will never doubt again.
Princess Bride. Hell yeah.
There will never be a need.
You see, it makes anything sinister. Try it out in some other movies.
What we got? What we got?
So Jesse gets bummed out that Willy bailed out, so the supportive black guy comes in to try and talk some sense into him.
Sick of this place. Going to find my mom.
The state can't find your mom. The federal government can't find your mom either. When are you going to get it? Hey, your mom isn't coming back. Turned around and drove away. Didn't look around, didn't slow down, didn't even look in the rearview mirror.
If this is the motivational speech, I suggest a rewrite.
Sometimes you gotta give the
Jesse
tough
packs up
talk.
his things and decides to run away again.
Yeah, let's run away again.
Going to California.
Yeah.
California.
Shut up. Ugh, it sounds like William Hung sucking on helium. Shut up!
I mean, it does get a little
What is it
grating
Willie's
after
been
a while.
crying about all this time?
Your family.
It's your family.
Wow. None of those marine biologists just noticed a bunch of killer whales happened to be waiting outside the park?
Who would have
observed them.
guessed?
But it turns out Robodouche and his henchmen tried to destroy the tank so they can collect the insurance money that Willy is worth.
Bad guys.
You're worth more dead than alive.
So what are our heroes going to do?
Let's free Willy.
I never liked this job anyway.
Yeah, it's not like calling the police or animal control will play any part here.
No.
Nope, it's up to
Less
a Native
exciting.
American, a small boy, and Tank Girl. That makes
See,
logical sense.
confirmed tanker.
How are we gonna pull him?
Oh, no, wait. I'll tell you what makes even more sense.
Stealing the
Your
truck
foster
instead of
parents'
asking
truck when you find
the
out later that they
incredibly
willingly would have helped
supportive
you in the
parents.
first place. Get your
Incredibly
brains out!
supportive.
It's a whale of a chase as we see our villain, dressed as Hugh Hefner,
He does look
chases our
diabolical.
heroes to the water.
Fuck adoption. Fuck adoption.
The critic's inner monologue from the dad is fantastic.
But the bad guys have sealed off their only way out, laying their net so that Willy can get caught.
Hurry, Willy, hurry.
Hurry!
Don't forget me, okay? Don't forget you.
Yeah.
So it looks like this is goodbye.
It's like we'll never see each other in the
Famous scene that's
sequels.
shown on all the posters, every trailer, and even on the front of the DVD. Yeah, it looks like that's not going to happen.
That whale's not going anywhere. Water's 20 feet deep, those nets will touch bottom, close it in.
I believe this calls for a victory snort. Care to join me?
Come on, Willy, I know you can do it, boy.
Okay, so we all know this scene and we all know the jokes made about it.
I've never heard
The whale
any
only makes
jokes.
it halfway.
What?
The whale crushes the boy.
What?
The whale eats the boy while jumping over. We've seen all the satire.
That would actually
But
be funny.
here's my question that nobody's ever brought up. If Willy can jump over several feet of solid rock, why couldn't he just jump over the net?
Oh, yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
Underwater, all he has to do
It
is
wouldn't be
jump
as
half a
dynamic, I
centimeter and
guess?
he's free. There was no point in jumping over those fucking rocks. It was totally dumb.
But look at his face! It's good.
Oh well, at least
I
I still
love
got my
that
white
whip.
shark
Take
insurance at
that.
SeaWorld.
Oh.
So the kid reunites with his foster parents, and Willy reunites with his family as well.
Woohoo!
There it is, Free Willy.
I love it.
What's my take? Well, I can't say it's a terrible movie, but it's
Nah.
not really that good. There's very few surprises in it because we've seen this story 100 times. We just haven't seen it with a whale yet. But aside from that, it hits every note that we've seen in every other movie about a kid and his pet.
Okay.
There's really nothing different.
Well, it was the first one I
So,
really
why
saw
was this movie such a big
in
hit?
that genre.
Because Michael Jackson did the song for it. That's right, that's the only reason I think this movie made money. He was still like one of the biggest things in the world at the time, so if he said, hee hee, watch this whale, people are gonna watch that fucking whale. But like I said, it's not a terrible
I want to hear that
I mean,
impression
it's not as
again.
bad as something like A Troll in Central Park. Nope, I know this works. Yeah, if I say the entire title, that means that I had to review it next week. Yeah, I know this joke. Yeah, I'm not doing it. There is no way that you're gonna get me to say A Troll in Central Park.
Oh man, well that was the end of that. That was a lot of fun. I loved the Free Willy story. So Doug brought up before, I'm sorry, I'm putting away my headphones. So Doug brought up before that like this had been done a million times. But for me, I was young enough that this was really the first time I'd really seen the boy and his animal trope, you know, and it impacted me a lot, you know. I loved, back in that point when I was young, especially, I was constantly, in my free time, you know, researching sharks and whales and all that stuff. And a big part of it was because Free Willy. I found that stuff fascinating, you know. And it always stuck with me. So yeah, a huge part of the reason I love this series as much as I do now is probably due to nostalgia. You know, and the boss at the, not the jerk, but the boss at the water park always came across as this sage, wise dude, and everything he said was absolute. And then you had the other trainer who was, you know, kind of adorable. You know, that was cool. Jesse irritated me. Jesse was the human character that irritated me the most. I mean, even as a kid with a temper, you know, that threw tantrums that he really were kind of ridiculous. Never really understood Jesse's problem. I mean, I'm sitting there in my room and wondering, if you have that awesome room and that awesome view and all this and that wonderful homemade meal and these people that be willing to take you in and love you, and what are you complaining about? I don't know. Maybe I just never had that same, you know, my mom's coming back, my dad's coming back. I could talk to them whenever I wanted, so maybe I didn't understand that conflict, but I kind of thought he was a bit ridiculous. I liked that he was able to take care of himself in the beginning, you know, stealing the food was funny to me, you know, doing all that stuff, hanging out together, but the graffiti I never really got, and his tantrums with, like, throwing the ball through the glass and all that, it was ridiculous. And when you can tell how obviously amazing these foster parents were, why steal the truck? Why not go, hey, this is happening. This is bad. These guys are in with me to get this whale out and somewhere safe. Will you help? They would have been totally like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And Willy, and I believe the real whale's name that played in the movie was Keiko. Unless I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. And, I mean, that whole story, I followed that whole story when they finally let Keiko free, or at least they put him in the boundary for a while and then tried to set him free. But I don't remember the whole story, but I do remember it being kind of tragic, far tragic, in a different way than Blackfish, but still tragic. Wow, I love that movie. I think my favorite part of the critics' stuff going on there was the inner monologues. Every time he spoke the apparent thoughts of the foster dad, it was hysterical, absolutely hysterical. The supportive black guy, that was very funny too. The fiendishly devilish eating of the popcorn was absolutely hysterical. That had me laughing too. But I think it's not just the expression and the chewing and I think it was also the sting of music that also just propelled that into amazing. So, well, that's the end of that. Luckily for me, I don't have to watch his next review. I mean, that movie is bad. That movie is bad. What I remember of that movie is children that didn't know how to speak. I mean, I understand you want to have that kind of lisp or that kind of cute baby talk for kids in movies, but if they can't be understood, what's the point of putting them in a movie? What's the point? I'm just so glad I don't have to watch a Troll in Central Park review. Oh, God. You're not going to make me do what Doug's doing, are you? You're not going to comment and comment and comment and tell me that I have to react to this next instead of Five Goes West, right? Oh, God, no. I mean, admittedly, if you commented and told me to do it, I would, because sometimes it's really difficult for me to pick out which Nostalgia Critic I want to watch next, because he's so entertaining, and his logic and his thoughts on a lot of this make a lot of sense to me. But so, I mean, it really does help me if you comment and tell me what you want me to watch next, but oh God, I didn't put myself in a hole, did I? Oh, you guys aren't going to make me do it, are you? Oh, come on, guys. I did Son of the Mask recently. You're not going to... Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. Anyways, if you like this video, please like and possibly subscribe. I could use the support. And if you want to tell me what else you want me to react to next, put that in the comments below, too. I'll try not to fear for my sanity. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, wherever you are. Morning, afternoon, or evening. Peace out. Bye.